Welcome to Mechanical Advantage Garage. I'm Kerry and I am back at Lucore today trying to unmess some of my mistakes from the last video. So Rich is going to go put the car on the lift in a little bit and do tranny filter and fluid and hopefully fix the transmission. But in the meantime, I'm going to work on the Quadrojet and probably unload some of the stuff in the trunk because she's sitting real tail heavy right now. And I don't like the way that looks. Also, it's probably not a good idea to be sitting on the bottom of the springs. So we're going to dive into it. I'm going to top it off with some coolant and I don't know, we'll do a few other things because tomorrow is Dyno day. And, you know, we can see how many horses I let out of the corral. So good times, fun. Yes, let's get it done. All right, so let's get this open up here and get this air element off. And it's nice and rainy here in Columbus today, and there's nothing like dedication to a hot rod to be working on it in the rain. And so last time we saw these get jammed open again because I had another carb backfire. Now what's happening is, and I don't know if you can see it right here, but when it carb backfires, the tube that these blades ride on, they bow out a little bit, right? Because you got this force, you got this force popping up from underneath and it causes them to bow. So if you look at them straight down, they actually look like they arc a little bit. And I'm going to try and just pull them back and see if that helps. It's not helping enough. So I'm going to get the screwdriver out and loosen these screws and readjust the throttle plates. Now, normally I hate working on carburetors with these, removable tip screwdrivers, because the potential is to knock them down, the bits down into the carburetor, and then you lose it and you got to do a whole engine rebuild. But these aren't tight, so I'm just going to loosen these a little bit and sort of adjust right here. Oh, that one was very loose. That's not a good sign. Okay, and you see, when we loosen up those screws, the throttle blades seem to be moving in and out pretty well. So I'm just gonna scooch them back a little bit and then we'll tighten them up. Hopefully that'll keep it from blowing closed again and closing us down to a 2-barrel. So we're running on all 4 barrels because that's what you want. Okay, so now I have them all set and this is free flowing. You can see right here, this one's sitting a little proud. I can actually get my fingernail underneath it. That comes from these having been blown out a whole bunch of times by engine backfires. You know, you get a backfire in the secondaries, blows it shut, and this is all bent and wonky. This carburetor could use a rebuild at some point, but we're probably going to seek other options in the future. It's working good for now, so we'll keep it working good for now. All right, so here we can see the advanced weight magnets that I was worried about freezing up, and they actually seem to be working pretty well. Usually these are the ones you got to worry about because they rot up and they rust up and they freeze. And these look a little rusty, and I could probably clean them up, but the advance seems to be working pretty well here. So you can see the Petronics wheels working good. I may have to replace that unit at some point, but otherwise this all looks kind of good. I mean, springs could use new springs, but I'm not going to fret about it right now. All right, so let's button this all back up and fire it up. So you can see she's still sitting kind of tail heavy here, and unfortunately I bought Fluffy the Unwanted Unicorn with me, and Fluffy's going to take a load today. Specifically, this giant load in the trunk. Come on, there we go. There we go. Look at that. All right, so yeah, I'm going to throw all this junk in the back of my BMW and take it over to the storage unit so I'm not lugging it around in the back of the GTO, and hopefully she'll level out. So let's get this unpacked. Well, I got most of the stuff out of the trunk and she's sitting a little more level now. There's still a couple heavy pieces back there, a bumper, some other stuff, but looking more and more like a GTO. Anyway, Rich says he's ready for the car, so we're going to pull it into the shop right now. All right, let's get this bad boy fired up. Hopefully she'll move under her own power. Oh, starts right up. Feel that. Yeah. Make all those muscle car sounds. All right, first gear. Oh, it is moving under its own power. Huzzah! So, we haven't frothed the fluid yet, but it's moving. That's always a good sign. Boy, look at all that wheel travel. This car sits low. Man, these tires look so tiny on here. You know, some cars just really look good up on the lift. Unfortunately, my car is one of them, which is why it tends to spend so much time there. But yeah, Rich just handed me filter box actuator, so getting set up here to drain out all this excess fluid and see what's up. And yeah, it's pretty well caked and coated and it's dripping everywhere, so hopefully a reseal will take care of some of it. Maybe I'll get some paper towels and clean this off a little bit. So this pan is thoroughly caked in here, so Austin lent me this handy brake flush. We're going to clean some of this off right now and get all the bolts out. Just sort of see if there's any holes in the pan too. You can see the bolts where we can get them nice and clean here. And the actuator's going to come out too. So yeah, let's get scrubbing. I've never seen one without a drain plug before. Yeah, but most of the ones I see are aftermarket. So you think she was a little overfilled? Yeah, I think so too. I haven't even taken all the bolts out yet, and this is just what's squeezing right out of the trans. So yeah, this was my fault. I overfilled the damn thing. Oh well. Hopefully we'll get it all changed and we won't find any stupid surprises in there, and a new filter and everything will be hunky-dory, and we'll be back to shifting and grinding and moving down the road. So let's get this pan off and get it cleaned up. Well, the pan's off and it's not too terrible. It's a little black, but I don't see any major chunks. It is kind of gritty. It's a little shiny in there. So we just had a talk with Rich here, and yeah, there's some real clutch fiber stuff in here. You can see it's all chunky. It's not metallic. It's the fiber packs are like here burning up. You can see them just coming apart. So since I want to still make the dyno sessions, we're going to clean this up and fill it with fluid and cross our fingers and cross our eyes and hope for the best. And eventually this train's going to come out, and you know, either we get rebuilt or we put a new one in, you know, maybe put something better in. But for the time being, I'm going to put a new actuator in. I'm going to clean up this pan. We'll get it all squared and sorted. So a couple new things to note. One of the ways we might have gotten lucky is, if you notice, this is the old filter here, and there's no actual filter material. So all that gunk that used to be in the pan may actually have been this dried up filter material that kind of wadded up and got crushed. Well, here's the new filter, and as you can see in there, there's a little filter material, and that'll help get things flowing and clean. The other thing is, there was an O-ring missing out of the pickup tube where it goes into the top of the tranny. So we've replaced that, and it's held in there now. And all we got left to do is I cleaned out the pan, gasket surface is ready, and we're gonna put the pan back up and run it and cross our fingers and hope that it holds together. So here we are, all buttoned up, a little cleaner, a little bit worse for wear. New cork gasket in there. We're just gonna drop it down, put about 4 quarts of fluid in it, and see how she do. Hopefully this won't be too bad. This is kind of interesting. The pan doesn't have any drain plug on it, so that was kind of messy. Note to future self, get a nice cast pan with a drain plug in it. But hopefully this stops all the leaks too, because if you can see, it's been weeping like tranny fluid for some time everywhere here, you know, and What's nice is it's kept the metal nice, because look at that. Once you clean all the gunk off, preserved, and all the bolts come out real easy. But yeah, we'll have to see how this goes. So let's drop it down. Here we are, just filling her up. Gonna start with 4 quarts and see how we do. Get all that redness back in the transmission. Now this is synthetic. Hopefully it holds up with that cork gasket. I don't usually trust cork and synthetic because synthetic is smaller molecules. That's what makes it good. And it can leak past something like cork, which just sort of squishes down and sometimes has big gaps. I don't know. If it's good enough for wine, it's good enough for tranny fluid, right? That's the hope. You know. I think Austin's all swearing over his headers over there. How you doing, Austin?
Peachy.
Is Peachy keen? Just getting 2 cars ready for a dyno day. It's the
Wait till the last minute, just like we usually do.
Hey, we live in America, man. That's how we do.
Plan ahead, then don't do shit.
Seat of the pants. This is a work day for me, and I had the day off. I had to take some PTO just to get this done. Well, I had other stuff to do too, but it doesn't hurt. Man, I hope this is the right amount of fluid. We're just, you know, chug a lug here. I hope I'm putting it in the right hole too. Nothing wrong with filling your tranny, but hopefully it's going in the right hole. I don't see any leaks right now. Excuse me, maybe I didn't screw it up totally. Gotta watch that language. Alright, there we go. I'm wearing more ATF than I'm putting in this train. Because that's the fun of working on cars, right? You get dirty. Hey Austin, after this, how about we go find a private road and line up?
Yeah. Mine's running by the end of the day, I'll be impressed.
Yeah, it'll be running. Come on, you're good at this. All right. 4 quarts. And then I gotta check it hot, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that means I gotta get it up to temperature.
Yep.
So the good news is she started right up and mostly idling okay, and we're already in the positive return on heat. As soon as she gets to about 160, she should be able to idle steady. Otherwise, it's going to sit right around 1200 here. And let's just build some heat and see where our tranny fluid sits. Seems to be running pretty good though. I'm not hearing any real issues. So let's see how it does. All right. So we're up to about 180 on the temp gauge. So we're up to temperature here, and let's just go ahead and check this tranny fluid and see where we're at. And I got just about a pint, but let me wipe. Okay. Back in the hole. All the way down. 1, 2, 3. This is hot. What do we got? We got and a pint. Alright, so let's now remember kids, the pint is not a quart, so we're just gonna start adding a little bit here and then see how it does. Alright, so I put in about a little bit over half a quart and we're right where we need to be. Okay, let's see if we can pull out of the shop here. Alright, into reverse, let's see if she goes. Oh, pops right into reverse. That's a good sign. There we go. Bye-bye, AMX. Bye-bye, Austin. All right. We are coming out hot. Literally hot, because we're up at 200 right now. All right. shifts through all the gears and how it does. Hopefully we won't have any issues. You know, seems to be running okay. Let's go take it around the roundabout and we can fire it up into all 3 gears and then see if it shifts on its own. No slipping so far. Oh, nice solid shift in the second, solid shift in the third. That's a good sign. Well, she's running good. Come up into the roundabout, see if she downshifts. Yep, right in the second. That's performing excellently. Alright, let's go into this roundabout here, take it down into first. And then when we get out, I'll stab it and see how she does. Whoa, chirping second there. Up third. Up, pulling strong. Well, it feels like the tranny's back and we could make some dyno passes tomorrow. Well, you're gonna have to excuse sort of the hazy filming here. I got ATF all over the camera. Heck, I got ATF all over me. It looks like I murdered somebody. I'm all down the front of my shirt. But we're in, you know, 3rd gear, cruising about 198 on the temp, 2800 on the tack. Car's running good. Stab it, you hear it, it goes. Down in the first and just give it a go. Seems to be shifting really well. Car's a little hot, so it's not taking off as fast as it could be. Really needs to cool down a little bit more, but doing what I can for it, you know. Just driving around, see if I can get this temp down a little bit. That fan isn't helping. I'll have to find another thermostatic fan to swap out to for the time being, and then yeah, maybe that'll keep it a little bit cooler. In the meantime, let me turn around and head back. You know, boy, I tell you, you gotta love some of these Ohio farm roads, man. They are just really nice. Since I don't have anybody behind me, let's load it up and go again. Ready? There she goes. That's the goat I remember. Now we're having fun. Now it's a party. You know, little floaty over these bumps. It's got KYB shocks in it. At the time, it was all I could get for handling shocks, but you know, they work okay. I think they're kind of old and soft now. We're gonna have to do something modern with this. We'll do the whole suspension over. So Austin and Rich are still working on the AMX, getting ready for the dyno. So what better way to help out and support by a beer run? We got Yuengling, Coors, and Reds, man. And we're not sponsored by any of them. Don't drink and drive. So yeah, let's get rolling. Because they are thirsty down at Lucore, and there's beer here. I don't know. Something he's pounding down. All right, let's go.
Burning yourself. Quit burning yourself.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. No? No love from Metallica for me. So, new day, new morning, and it's dyno day. Austin and Rich and I were here till 1 trying to get Austin's AMX, the one we took on Power Tour in 21. and he took on Power Tour in 22. I'm trying to get that ready for the dyno, so we were up till 1 in the morning. But this car is ready. I took it out last night. I found out everything works but the tail lights, right? The brake lights work, the turn signals work, the windshield wipers work. In fact, they're still kind of stuck up a little bit because it was raining last night. But even the dome lights work, the trunk light works, the cigarette lighter works. How cool is that? So everything works. I had a chance to mess around with it. But I'm just going to go prep it right now, get it started, and we're going to head over to CIA Performance and see how many horses we've let out of the corral. And yeah, so stay tuned. So why is your car very angry?
The exhaust flows really well.
Yes.
And it really, really is not happy. Like, lots of carburetor tuning will be happening. It is really not happy. Won't idle, has a huge stumble, doesn't want to go, all bad.
So other than a minivan almost took me out because they didn't want to let me in.
That happens.
Everything is fine. It's melting down though, so.
Oh, you should probably park it down.
Yeah.
Over here to the right.
Okay, gonna do it. Oh, and I'm about to lose my power steering belt.
Okay.
Like a lot. So here we are at CIA, and the AMX is behind me, and that was what we were working on last night till 1 in the morning. And you just heard Austin talking about it now, so we're going to see what they do dyno-wise, and then we'll put the goat up. All right.
It's amazing that it has exhaust on it.
It really is. We left at 12:30 last night?
I left a little after that. I didn't get home until like almost 1:30.
Yeah, that's when I got home.
Thank God we put mufflers on it though.
Oh, yes.
This thing is, it's honestly kind of musically loud as it is now. On the inside, it's a lot louder. It definitely needs to have either turn downs or over the axles. Probably over the axles.
You don't want your axle heaters? Come on. Got to get your temp up.
Yeah, get my diff warmed up.
Yeah. Get that good launch.
Area to warm up back here. Huh? Nah. Hey, that's a Model 20. Don't you say something bad about AMC stuff. AMC people like you a lot.
Yeah, you don't mess with the AMC mafia. They will light you on fire for small stuff.
They're good people, but they get a little angry.
Yeah,
You don't appreciate
they're really into it. They're
Oh, yeah.
really into it.
AMC people are definitely AMC people.
Oh yeah,
It's not like, oh, I own a Chevy or whatever. AMC people are definitely AMC.
I know. I was an AMC person. I had Jeeps and
I have been
AMC.
adopted by the AMC.
Well, you own how many AMCs now? 3, 4?
At the moment, 3.
Okay.
Don't tell me you're buying another one. Nope, not buying another one. Buying 3 more.
So that's 6
That's not allowed to
total.
be on camera.
Oh, damn it. Was that the money shot? All right, so the car is up on the dyno. We're gonna strap it down, and in a minute we're gonna find out exactly how bad it's been doing, right? Like how long time takes to let all the horsepowers out. Austin is here. Hi, Austin. Say hi. He's here to heckle me. There's also a really cool blue Chevelle here and an also orange Chevelle. And we're in an awesome place. This is CIA Performance at their dyno. And they got an awesome wall-mounted display so we can see what's going on. And I've used the word awesome entirely too much. But yeah, I'm excited. The GTO is going to tell us their secrets. So let's get it strapped down and get going.
Where already, you can already see there's already a hole here, but somebody's already towed this.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, this car's been on a dyno before. It was a very long time ago, and I'm
Very
fairly
long time ago.
2006, 2005 or 2006. I'm not going to tell you what it made because I want to see how many horses we've let loose into the world. That'll never come back. What do you think it'll make?
I have no idea. I'm not even gonna try.
Wow, we're not gonna do the guessing game?
I don't remember what these had stock. I don't even know what engines.
So it's a 400 cubic inch engine. Stock, it's a 335 at the crank.
Okay.
Gross horsepower rating.
Ooh,
So that's
boy.
SAE.
Yeah, so that would have been with no accessories. So that means it really made like 325, correct?
Yeah.
No accessories, no transmission.
Huh?
No accessories, no transmission, no exhaust.
Right.
Remember, my Pontiac that we drove on here made 440 and 515 on the dyno at the engine dyno. Right. And made about 100 horsepower less. Actually, more than 100 horsepower less on the rollers.
248.
248's your number?
Sure.
Austin, what's your number?
I think I'm going to go with 260.
260?
Because I think you got the RPM.
Okay. So, yeah, we were talking about a miss, and look at this. Plug is turning in the, spark plug is turning in the head. So I don't think this one's ever been tightened down. So yeah, let me check all of these now. Hey, 3 of these are loose.
Huh?
3 of them are loose.
Yeah, like I said, maybe check all those.
Yeah, so let's get a plug right. 5 numbers. Any takers now? What do we think we'll be at now? We went from 220 to 250.
265.
265? All right. Austin?
I think Eric's probably pretty correct.
Okay.
I'll go 270, but I think I already won at 250.
Okay, fair enough.
Now that you're making it run correctly, let's do all three there.
Are we ready? He still has a miss? Yeah, a little bit. I can hear it. See anything arcing? Check the coil.
Right?
Okay. What's the temperature? Huh? Anything?
That side valve tray is much more clattery than this side.
Yeah, it needs a valve adjustment. It hasn't been done yet. Oh, that has a lifter that pumps down on the left side if it sits for too long. So we may need to pump it up.
Send it, see what happens.
All right. Okay. So we got 248 at 321. And a little bit of dieseling. Yeah, there's some opportunities there.
You have opportunities. That's okay.
Okay. Well, we knew it was going to be.
If I sat under a tree for 16 years and you drug me out of an island to go beat the crap out of me, I wouldn't do that well.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to compare that to my run, you're doing fantastic. And I spent $12,000 on my motor like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be upset about that at all. Get it running, right? It'll be great.
Yeah, it needs tuning and various things, and we need to figure out some issues.
Put some lifters in it, some tuning, some gaskets, fix a couple things.
Right.
Maybe even put some spark plugs in it.
Look at all the rust on the came off this car in the dyno. Like all of it right there. All that rust just dropped off the car from the passes. But man, it's not doing too bad. You know?
Add lightness.
It adds lightness.
Add lightness.
Alright, so we're gonna
It's like my AMX, it just gets lighter the more you drive it.
well, because more stuff falls off of it. That's this car too. I gotta clean it out though. And then I'm gonna start rust treating it so it doesn't get worse. And then I don't know, we'll see what we do with it. But let's get it off the dyno. Now we have a baseline for where we know to start. And the next thing is to do some basic maintenance on the car, get it tuned up, maybe make some more changes, and we'll come back to the dyno since they're very friendly to us here, and we'll get some more numbers and see how it does. You know, I know it's an ugly car. It looks like it's been at the bottom of the ocean, but it certainly is fun, and it's certainly making a lot of the right noises too. So we're gonna figure some things out and come back here, and hopefully we'll be back to that old number. Ah, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave me comments, let me know you're alive. Love talking to you. I love interacting with you. Let me know how awesome the car is. Let me know how it sucks. Let's see that he doesn't dump this off the lift. Almost there. So yeah, like, subscribe. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Send me hate mail. I don't care. I love interacting with all of you. But yeah, this is it. I'll see you next episode.